Gremlins. I'm going to tell you as much as I can about the plot of this film that came out in 1984. I can't tell you the whole thing because I've seen it once, and that was in the 90s. I saw it too young. I saw it when I was a kid. It was rated PG. It's actually still rated PG. And it's rated PG because at the time, PG-13 didn't exist. Gremlins was rated and released the summer that PG-13 became a rating in 1984. And I watched this on syndication. I probably watched it on TBS or USA or something when I was, well, definitely under 10. And then I tried to rewatch it recently. I got up to one scene and I got so scared that I couldn't turn it off. So this is basically the first half of Gremlins, character journeys, and emotional reaction. Gremlins is about a dad who's an inventor. This guy can't get things right. He has gizmos all over his house. He's tried to invent all kinds of things, but nothing really has sold. And he's shopping for Christmas. He's this failure trying to find a Christmas gift for his kids. And this he goes into an antique shop because they're having financial problems and he can't afford kind of the new things. And when he's in this shop, he hears this animal singing beautifully. It's almost like a bird song. And it's beautiful. And we hear that song before we see the animal, right? There's wonder and suspense that's created in that moment. And then they describe the animal, and we get to see the animal. It's called a mogwai. And it's so cute. It's a furry little kind of looks like a stuffed animal that sings beautifully, and it's alive. Growing up when I was a kid, my friends had like guinea pigs, and it kind of reminded me like that, but it was way more. It could be interactive, it was intelligent. And so my young self fell in love. I fell in love with this mogwai. When they got it home, the inventor's son also falls in love with it. But there are 3 rules with mogwai. The first one is that you have to keep it out of light, specifically sunlight, because that could kill it. The second rule is that it has to stay away from water. The third rule is that it can't eat after midnight. And so these are the 3 rules that the dad goes home with, and he successfully kind of shares it with his son, and his son says, yeah, no problem. And eventually things start to happen. Gizmo, who's the pet mogwai for the son, someone accidentally spills water on him. They wake up the next morning and Gizmo has multiplied, and there's a whole bunch of them. The son is so thrilled because Gizmo's awesome, and the dad is thrilled because he's got a business opportunity. He's an inventor who's failed, and they're struggling just to make ends meet. And he has this opportunity to start selling these things as pets, and he sells these things as pets, and the entire town gets them. And he faithfully redistributes the rules, but we don't know what happens when they eat after midnight. So one of the boy's friends ignores the rules and feeds their mogwai. And then this kind of incubation happens. And there's an egg that's formed. And that's the moment I have to stop the film. At that moment, my little brain that was younger than 10 years old couldn't it, I was so in love with Gizmo and all these cute, fluffy, interactive, loving, musical Mogwai. I didn't know. I was so deeply in this film. I was so emotionally attached to those things. I didn't know what was coming. And so there's this egg, and I think, oh, cool, there's going to be some beautiful thing. And what comes out is the devil, an intelligent uh, being that is ugly and angry and wreaks havoc on this town. And it's so intelligent that it moves and it does these things to really take over. It in some cases it murders humans. And it knows its strengths and weaknesses. And that's about all that I can say about this film. These gremlins go and wreak havoc on society. And somehow the humans band together to overcome them. Gizmo actually stayed a Mogwai. And at the end of the film, I remember that the dad, after all of the things that have happened, the dad who failed again, but failed in the biggest way possible, he returns Gizmo back to the place where he bought it. I have no idea how this film plays as an adult. As I said, I get to that point where that cocoon, the egg starts to hatch, and I'm so scared. I've had such a visceral reaction from when I was a kid that I can't watch this film today. It's the one film that I just can't do. And so what I would love is I would love to know what you thought in the comments. I read the plot and I got shivers. I'm telling you now that I'm getting shivers because of how scared I am of this film. Did you watch this one too young? I'd love to know. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.